They called me a clickbaiter. Well. I hate to say I told you so, but anyway, all jokes aside, Dragon Ball Daima episode 18 finally made Super Saiyan 4 canon to the mainstream Dragon Ball series, or the True Vision Toriyama continuity. Smash a like on the video if you thought that transformation and episode and fight against Supreme Demon King Gomah with the third eye was insane. It broke the internet, just as Ultra Instinct did back in Dragon Ball Super's anime run, and I don't think that's the only thing they're going to have in common. Now guys, I've had this video in the oven for quite a while now. I think the time is ripe to release this theory. Here is a reason why these two transformations are going to create Super Saiyan 5. So guys, I've known about this transformation happening in Daima for a while. I've been trying to hint it in the videos that are previously released. By all means, go check my library. I've been talking about Super Saiyan 4 way more than I usually would, but it is finally here. However, whilst I've known this has been coming, one thing did take me by surprise, is the fact that Super Saiyan 4, at least in this mini version, or if it is even going to be called Super Saiyan 4, obviously Super Saiyan 4 is just a cover name for the moment because it heavily resembles Super Saiyan 4 from Dragon Ball GT. This version, this monkey-like Goku, has different colour hair. Obviously it's red like the initial body hair from GT, but the actual hair on his head is red and his eyes are no longer yellow. That's my personal disappointment, if I'm being honest, because I like the links between Broly's Akari form and the Super Saiyan 4 form. But there may be a reason for that, and it could do with Yamoshi, the original Super Saiyan God. Now, I know some people dispute whether he was the original Super Saiyan God, but it's very plausible that he was. Ultimately, this form heavily resembles Super Saiyan God mixed with the original Super Saiyan 4 transformation. The hair colour, the eyes, heavily resemble Super Saiyan God. Then, if you look at the story of Yamoshi, the links between how Goku initially got the Super Saiyan God form, because Shenron knew about it because of the old Namekian books of legend, and now we have Neva, or Neva, I never know how to pronounce his name, to be honest. Correct me in the comment section, please do. But ultimately, this old Namekian that remained in the demon realm, here's what Toriyama said about the old Namekian. Beerus probably picked up on information about Yamoshi's spirit in his prophetic dream. The fact that it is recorded in the Namekian Book of Legends is likewise because a Namekian elder who wrote it sympathised with Yamoshi's spirit. Namekian elder has gone and basically gifted Goku this Super Saiyan 4 monkey-like transformation. Neva had this knowledge, just like the original Book of Legends that initially gave Goku the Super Saiyan God form. Now obviously there's going to be some people claiming that Daima won't be in the same continuity as Dragon Ball Super. I do believe that this is going to be left open so it can work with Super and it can work without. Ultimately, it won't take much creativity to make it work with Super, and considering that the Dragon Ball Super manga is continuing this month, they will have to deal with whether Daima fits into the canonicity. Now, at the end of Dragon Ball Super in the manga run, which goes beyond the anime run, Goku's most powerful form is Ultra Instinct, the silver-haired Ultra Instinct. Despite the showings against Gas with True Ultra Instinct, silver-haired Ultra Instinct is still king. However, Goku has an adversary that is too strong for him, Black Frieza, and obviously there'll be more antagonists and villains down the road that will likely be too strong for him as well, including Beerus, who he still needs to surpass, and then the Angels. Goku needs to find a way to get stronger. Ultra Instinct, whilst it is a transformation that can keep getting more powerful, it is not a set multiplier, even though you can power scale it to find a measurement that can provide a multiplier over, say, Super Saiyan Blue, but you can argue that that multiplier is a moving multiplier. I have no problem with that, to find an actual level. Ultimately, it's going to need to go beyond that eventually. So what can they do? Well, Super Saiyan 5 is the answer. Now, look at the creativity in Dragon Ball recently. Toriyama and Ioku was even mentioned in an interview just the other day by Ioku that they're trying to do as much research from the fandom as possible to give them ideas on what direction to take. Just look at Dragon Ball Super. We wanted Future Trunks back, we got him. We wanted an evil Goku, we got him with Goku Black. Then of course the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie came about because of the popularity of the original Dragon Ball Z Broly movies and that character. We got Broly, fan service again. Then the superhero movie, we got Gohan Blanco, essentially, even though I know it's not the Gohan Blanco transformation, don't say I said that, but it does resemble Gohan Blanco. Then of course, in Dragon Ball Daima, we finally got a clown version of El Hermano. Just kidding. We've got Super Saiyan 4, or at least a primal monkey version that would appeal to the Super Saiyan 4 fans from Dragon Ball GT. That's just to name a few. You could even look at the fact that we got Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, fan service. The fact that Frieza got resurrected multiple times, fan service. Now guys, whilst I'm laughing about this, I'm not even saying this as a criticism. I know full well that there is no such thing as original creativity. Everybody borrows different ideas and puts them together. All they're doing is looking at what the fandoms have come up with, and the fandom has come up with loads of great ideas, and they are giving it to us essentially in Toriyama's own way. Now obviously we've looked at whether Goku can use Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan 4 in tandem before, but ultimately, now that the transformation is officially canon, and should it connect to Dragon Ball Super as many expect, then I think it makes it much more plausible that this transformation of a Super Saiyan 5 could come about. I used to call it Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct, but it would essentially make Super Saiyan 5. Look at the Super Saiyan 5 designs that go throughout the fandom. If Toriyama's seen Gohan Blanco and took that idea, what makes you think he won't take the Super Saiyan 5 idea? They need a new power-up, and transformations in Dragon Ball post the original golden-haired Super Saiyan states have all combined and merged different forms to create a new form. Just look at the original Super Saiyan 4 transformation in Dragon Ball GT. It's Uzaru plus Super Saiyan, and then some weird magic happens that turns him into a humanoid monkey. Then in Dragon Ball Super, even though Super Saiyan God was an original form, essentially it's just using God Ki, but then you get Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which is Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God merged together. Obviously, Ultra Instinct goes a bit beyond the original God and Super Saiyan Blue transformation, but it does use God Ki. You could actually say it uses an ultra level of God Ki. As we saw in the Granola arc, Goku recognises Vegeta's Ki with Ultra Ego, and I'm going to include Vegeta on this really as well, because he has an Ultra form as well that he could eventually combine with Super Saiyan 4. But basically, Goku has demonstrated also in the Granola arc that you can use Ultra Instinct in tandem with base form, the Super Saiyan states, the Super Saiyan God form, as well as Super Saiyan Blue. Then of course he has Ultra Instinct Sign and complete Ultra Instinct as well. But as he trains with Whis and gets used to the form and actually embodies the transformation and just the technique in general, Goku's issue mainly is the fact that he cannot hold on to the form for long because his mortal body struggles to use an angelic technique. But the Super Saiyan 4 form seems to be a primal state that gives Saiyans the ultimate body, which likely, you could say, would give him a chance to actually be able to hold on to the Ultra Instinct technique for longer. So if Goku was to be able to use Ultra Instinct in Super Saiyan 4, then perhaps this would allow him to go further than the original Super Saiyan 4 transformation and create, you guessed it, Super Saiyan 5. Vegeta could do the same as well, and perhaps they'll have different versions of a Super Saiyan 5, whereas Goku will have an Ultra Instinct version of Super Saiyan 5, whereas Vegeta will have an Ultra Ego version of Super Saiyan 5. Perhaps Gohan will have his own version as well, given his new Beast transformation, and that the Beast eyes do look very similar to the Super Saiyan 4 from Daima eyes. Of course, the biggest correlation is that Super Saiyan God has the same eyes and hair that Super Saiyan 4 from Daima have, but as I mentioned earlier, this could be heavily linked to the fact that the Super Saiyan God form centers around Yamoshi, and there's been a lot of history planted between Yamoshi and the Namekian's Book of Legends. Could it be that this Super Saiyan 4 form that Neva has allowed Goku to attain is actually the true version of Super Saiyan God? Now obviously we're talking with conjecture, we've only just got this version of Super Saiyan 4, but there is that correlation there. Maybe that will play out, maybe it won't. I'm hoping that is the case simply because I wanted Super Saiyan 4 to have the original yellow eyes, which replicated what Broly has in the Ikari movie and what Goku had with Super Saiyan 4 in GT. But given we know that Toriyama's been working on this story for circa 5 to 6 years now, you go all the way back to what stories were being created through that time, and obviously the Moro arc and the Granola arc were being developed at that time. Some of these hints that have happened in Super, the continuation of Super in the manga, do now seem to bear resemblance to potential upcomings in the Dragon Ball Super future. Black Frieza is stronger than them. Dragon Ball Super isn't going to end with an antagonist stronger than Goku. Goku's going to have to find a way to somehow surpass him. Could Dragon Ball Daima be setting the exposition and the foreshadowing of what is to come in the future of Dragon Ball Super and how Goku will eventually defeat Black Frieza? It would be a full circle narrative if Frieza is indeed defeated by something that resembles a monkey. Now, some of you may say, well, maybe you'll defeat Black Frieza with this Super Saiyan 4 version from Daima, but in an adult body with the power level that he has come Dragon Ball Super. As we know, it chronologically takes place a lot later than Dragon Ball Daima, especially the end of the superhero arc when they could potentially face Black Frieza. But I would offer that I just don't think they are going to throw the God key forms and Ultra Instinct, the technique especially, away completely, especially as Dragon Ball Super spent a long time developing it, and it is pretty awesome and quite popular itself. So I can see a merger between the two transformations coming, and give Super Saiyan 4 white hair and it looks particularly close to Super Saiyan 5. Will it be called Super Saiyan 5? I hope not. I've never particularly liked the Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan 5 names because I don't think they really resemble the original golden haired Super Saiyan forms. Even Super Saiyan 2 and Super Saiyan 3 are really just extensions of the original Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan 4 is a merger between two different types of transformations, and Super Saiyan 5, you could argue, would be a merger between three different types of transformations. However, I do think it's important to note, based on what we've seen in Daima's Super Saiyan 4 doesn't seem to involve Golden Uzaro, so it could just be magic based. But guys, if anyone's going to be able to do it, well, it's going to be Goku, isn't it? And Vegeta will probably get it sometime later. But even back on the point of Black Frieza and the potential of a rematch with Beerus and potentially facing angels in the future, Goku's going to need a power-up. And perhaps the third eye doesn't get fully defeated in Dragon Ball Daima. There's only a couple of episodes left. It ultimately defeated Super Saiyan 4 Goku in episode 18. Toriyama literally brought Super Saiyan 4 back to basically lose its first fight. The magic power that the third eye has is unbelievable. I don't know why people are surprised about this. It was stated to be unparalleled in power, at least magical power. So therefore, why, given that this is a pre-existing verse to even the multiverse, why would magical power within the multiverse necessarily be stronger than what that was? Goku could perhaps have to come up against this eye again. Or I offer, and this is my theory and I'm going to make a video about it very soon, what if that eye is just one part of the full totem of power of another being that existed once upon a time? Perhaps it's like a 7 Horcruxes idea from Harry Potter, where a villain will eventually be assembled from different pieces being collated. I guess you could say that sort of thing's happening in Jujutsu Kaisen as well. Maybe Toriyama's taken ideas from that. Anyway, Dragon Ball has a very exciting future. Ryoku's promised decades of content. What a time to be a Dragon Ball fan. Even if you don't fully think Daima has been as good as what it probably could have been, we've definitely got a wild future ahead of us. Next, Dragon Ball Super manga is back. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash a like on the video, lend me your energy, comment down below your thoughts on Super Saiyan 5. Until next time, Ad Astra.